What's up, guys? Welcome back to 25 High. You can probably already tell what this video is about based on the title, but first off, we gotta do a little reel maintenance. And also, I wanted to mention real quick, you've probably seen me use this rod a pretty decent bit. This combo, this reel and this rod, is one of my favorites right now. This is just a piss of fun serpent. I think it's a 7'9" medium heavy. It's pretty versatile for being such a heavy-ish rod and long rod. I've been using it a lot with like live bait or like cut bait for like gar, and even in saltwater a little bit. Also bass fishing with moving baits and flipping and stuff. It's just a good all-around setup for like especially bank fishing and stuff, getting long casts. This reel, these piss of fun rods, I've got this one and a fly rod, and they've both been great. I don't know anything about the reels, but I know the rods are great, except this one I've used it so much. Part of that handle, like the coating on the handle's coming off. No big deal, it's just a little annoying, but the rod's pretty great. I like the reel seats. They're a lot better than just the basic plastic ones, you know. This reel, Shimano X-Sense DC. I think it's like a 2012 model. They're not super expensive, and they're pretty great reels. They're stout, got a decent drag system, got really good gearing in them. It's a DC, it's fairly fast, it's good for pretty much anything that I've used it for. So far, I've caught a 28-pound gar on this combo right here. You've probably seen that video. I've caught mangrove snapper, I've caught all sorts of bass. And I've gone catfishing with it, but no catfish yet. But before I get into the video, I'm gonna clean this reel up real quick. Alright guys, now that that's taken care of, I want to get that reel ready, specifically for a trip that I hopefully going on this weekend. But I figured since this is a hunting and fishing, mostly just outdoor channel, I'd throw in a little bit of fishing to this video because the rest of it is mostly about hunting and outdoor stuff. So I'm going to go get what the video title is really about, and we'll sit down and talk about it for a minute. Y'all stay tuned. I'm really bad with camera angles today. Hopefully that'll be better. Maybe I should just get a tripod one day. But if you've been watching the channel for a while, you probably know that I'm a saddle hunter. I hunt out of a saddle when I'm deer hunting or pretty much anything that requires you to be up a tree. And last year I did a little bit of experimenting, I guess. I hunted quite a bit with my 300 Blackout AR. It's only got an 8.5-inch barrel. I only had a red dot on it. It was basically just like something I thought would be just a little bit more lethal than a bow. Still have a decent bit of challenge, but you know, pretty much be I don't know, effective out to 50 yards and hopefully more deadly than a bow. Well, turns out 300 Blackout, at least for whatever reason, I had terrible luck with it. I know a lot of people have really good luck with 300 Blackout and even short barrels like mine. But either way, I didn't like it. Terrible luck with it. I almost lost the one deer that I killed with it. So I decided that's just too marginal for me. That's way too marginal for me. So I just ended up just swapping the barrel to a 5.56, turning that just to a fun range gun pretty much, and ended up kind of on a whim building this. This is my new favorite gun, I think. Now, it's only got a red dot on it right now. I will be swapping it out for a scope at some point. I'm not exactly sure which scope I want to go with, but I'm going to kind of give an overview of this, and I want to tell you guys why I think this configuration, not necessarily this specific rifle, but this configuration, well, pistol, sorry, this is a pistol. It's legally classified as a pistol. So I want to kind of explain why I think this is the perfect configuration for a saddle hunter. First off, it's a 6.8 SBC AR pistol. It's got a 12.5 inch AR performance barrel. If you ever look up anything to do with 6.8 SBC, those guys are definitely going to come up. And the reason behind that is I'm assuming they're, or what I've heard is they're super reputable. They're like the best 6.8 barrels you can get, or components at all. So I decided to go with them. They're one of the less expensive barrels as compared to some of the other high-end barrels, but they're supposed to be like dead on accurate, super high quality. So I went with it. I've got a 13.5 inch handguard with a tucked can, mostly just because I like the look. I don't think on small caliber guns you don't really need a muzzle brake per se. They're nice, but you don't really need it. Right here I've got a I think it's a 2.5 pound trigger, so pretty light trigger, perfect for hunting. It looks cool too, so that that works. This bolt, I actually just traded a buddy for it. He just so happened to have accidentally ordered two, and I traded him some AR parts for it. Seemed like a pretty good trade to me, so I went with it. I have no clue what brand it is, but it's nickel boron. It's pretty nice. And then an SBA 3 stabilizing brace. It's not a stock because the ATF says it's not. So it's a muzzle. It's a not muzzle. It's a arm brace, stabilizing brace, whatever you want to call it. I've only shot it a few times, but I love it. It's pretty sweet. And the reason why I think this is the perfect saddle hunting platform is because these short-barreled ARs they can be super accurate. You might not think that a 12.5 inch barrel could be as accurate as like an 18 inch barrel, or like a 22 like you normally see on a hunting rifle, like a bolt action. Well, I won't say they'll be as accurate, but this is definitely accurate enough to kill a deer at 100 yards, which that's what 99% of my hunting is inside 100 yards. So I don't need anything longer than that. The 6.8, there's a lot of good calibers out for AR-15 nowadays. Tons of options for whatever you like. 6.5 Grendel, some guys have really good luck with 300 Blackout, but I'm not going to recommend it. 6.8, there's a bunch of Wildcats if you're into reloading and stuff like that. There's a lot of options, basically what I'm saying. You can even get big bores, like the 450 Bushmaster and all that, 458 SOCOM. Those are good, really good rounds for deer hunting, for like brush guns, like a modern take on a brush gun. But I went with 6.8 just because I've wanted one for a while pretty much, and I know they kill deer. Last year I hunted a little bit with my 300 Blackout with an 8.5 inch barrel, and a little bit with my old youth model 243 Remington 700. I think it's got like 20 inch barrel, maybe 22 inch barrel, something like that. And it's pretty easy to tell that short barreled AR, it's about the same weight, maybe even a little heavier depending, you know, how much ammo you're carrying or whatever, but it's just so maneuverable. It's so much easier to use in a saddle. Like with that long barreled rifle, it would take a little bit to shoot on like my weak side. It would take some finagling to get over there and point my gun in the right direction and get a solid rest and everything. With the short barrel, you can just like, I mean, it's super simple to just, yeah, well, I don't know what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is it's super simple. By the way, this gun is unloaded, just so y'all know. I probably should have cleared it, but I'm keeping it all in a safe direction and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's just super maneuverable. It's really easy to get on target with such a short gun and, you know, quick low power optics, and it's deadly. My mind just went blank. I probably should have taken notes or something, but yeah, it's just, I just figured I'd share with you guys that, like, last year through my first year of saddle hunting, I learned a ton about all sorts of things, all sorts of stuff. And one of the things I learned that I really wanted to share with you guys is that short-barreled ARs in the right caliber and with enough practice, just like anything else, are freaking awesome for saddle hunting. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do today. If anything else cool happens, I'll take you along.
Boo. Boo Dan. Hey, sweet Boo.
Can you believe that freaking dog got bit by a copperhead 2 days ago, and today it's like nothing even happened? It was a little scare, but she got over it really fast. I really wish that I could brush off a snake bite like a dog can, like a big dog can, because she had like 4 puncture wounds in her lip, and literally the next day the swelling was almost gone. We gave her some Benadryl. The vet said that would be all right. We gave her a little bit of Benadryl and kept her real still and kept some water with her and kept her in a kennel overnight. Next morning she acted fine, but there was still a little swelling, and then today she's perfectly fine. That's just crazy. But one thing I wanted to show you guys, it's a kind of a sneak peek of a little project I've been working on, kind of low-key. I want to do like a full rundown video of this, but I'm pretty proud of it so far. I've been modifying my kayak. So here's my kayak. It's a New Canoe Flint, and from here forward looks pretty much the same. I got me a 25 high sticker. I got me one of those measuring board things, make sure the fish I keep are legal, if I keep any fish. But if you look real close up under here first, well, there's some wires. There's this little lever, a duct tape. Let's see from a different angle. More wires. The blue light right there, there's a couple up front. There's a switch right here on a milk crate that I just recently installed. And then this is where it gets interesting. Yep, that's a trolling motor. Modified a trolling motor fit on here. You're supposed to have a legit battery coming in like Thursday, and I'm planning on, I might be taking this out tomorrow. We've got some batteries laying around here, but nothing that's like made for running the trolling motor, and if it is, then it's been dead for a while, so I don't know how that's gonna go. But wanted to give you a little sneak peek on that, as well as real quick before I go. 2 things I forgot to mention about the old saddle hunting gun is, number 1, when you're walking through the woods, and I need to put a sling on that gun, but when you're walking through the woods, that short gun, it's kind of like, if you know anything about saddle hunting, there's guys that cut down their sticks. They'll get like, I don't know what a regular climbing stick is, like 28 inches roughly, 30 inches, 24, something like that. And they'll cut them down to like 20 inches. And what that does is, yeah, it cuts down on weight a little bit. It cuts down on bulk of what you're carrying in. But the biggest thing is, you don't have a 30-inch stick. Now you have something that's about as wide as you are, or about as tall as your backpack, depending on how you're carrying it. It just doesn't get hung up on sticks and stuff when you're walking through thick brush. So that's a positive, because if you walk around with a gun barrel that's sticking way above your head or whatever, that gun, it just goes through brush a lot easier, those short ARs. And another thing is, follow-up shots are, they're a lot quicker. And that's with any semi-auto, but, I mean, yeah, that's with any semi-auto. But hopefully you guys are looking forward to this. We're going to be doing a lot of fishing here in the upcoming little bit. I was a little bit late getting onto the fishing, like actually getting really into filming this year. I just sort of slacked off. No, I've talked about that, but we got some big things coming, hopefully, and hope you guys will stick around for that. If you want to see some, there's a wasp. If you want to see some of that, click that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like gun review type kind of videos, or just gun videos in general, click the like button, drop us a comment, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Always remember to live life 25 high.